gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Friday Show. The Friday Show with me, Richard Vobes. If you're watching live, it is late. If you're watching on YouTube, it's not late. It's normal time, more or less, give or take, whenever it was uploaded. And if you're watching a rerun on Facebook, welcome. It's nice to have you along. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the week is here. Fantastic. Isn't that good news? The weekend can start. And what I want to know, ladies and gentlemen, what are you up to? Where are you going? What are you doing this weekend? And should I be attending? That's what I'd like to know. I know at Shoreham Fort this weekend they have their gala day, and it's well worth getting down to Shoreham Fort if you get the chance. It's absolutely fantastic. They're going to wheel out their big cannon today, ladies and gentlemen. No, tomorrow, I know. I don't know if they're on for 2 days. Are they on both days, Saturday and Sunday? I know they're definitely open on the Saturday, getting their big cannon out and firing it at the crowd. No, not at the crowd. Firing it at the enemy, ladies and gentlemen, trying to sort of get rid of people left, right and centre. You know, the people, the invaders, those sort of things. I think there's a little bit of a reenactment going on. There's lots of games and stuff for the kiddies, which will be great. So if you've got nothing to do and you're at a loose end, then make sure you get down to Shoreham Fort, down there near Shoreham Harbour. Make sure you're on the right side of the estuary, otherwise you won't be able to get in. And I believe it's free to attend. Free, ladies and gentlemen. But there are sort of places you can donate, and there are some things that you charge for. And, of course, they've got their lovely food for thought. Yeah, or is it food for thought? I think that's what it is. And you can get burgers and coffees, and I expect you can probably have ice creams. Who knows? Who knows? And, of course, they'll open up their caponia as well, so that you can nip inside and see inside the fort. At least I hope that's what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got myself a nice cup of coffee. I need it. Because if you're watching live, you'll think, hello, the Vobes, you're a bit late, aren't you? What happened to you? Where have you been? You'll want the whole works, the whole story, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I do want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that I've had a very, let me put it this way without actually saying too much, but I've had a very exhilarating drive. I have managed to get back from Billingshurst at speeds of which I knew not what the car was capable of. Of course, obviously, all within the national speed limit. But let me tell you, there was very little on the road, and most of it was a blur. But I am now here, and you'll probably want to know why I was in Billingshurst and what I was doing there and all the rest of it. But let's first of all, ladies and gentlemen, actually see if there's anybody out there watching the show. And I see that Richard Suggett has joined. Hello, Richard. Nice to see you, Richard. I understand he's been gallivanting down to Lancing to see the lovely Julia, nearly called her TLC then, TLJ, the lovely Julia, and giving her some lovely plants and no doubt some veg as well. So well done to you, looking after her, which is fantastic. Lovely Julia apparently has just joined, so that will be great. She'll be able to tell us exactly what the plants are that Richard Suggett has been taking around, which is very nice. Mark Taylor is there. He says, I'll be at Wickham Film and TV Convention tomorrow. What sort of TV convention is that? Is that old programmes from yesteryear or new stuff? Or, I know you're into your sci-fi and that kind of stuff, so that would be interesting. Steve Blake is giving me a big load of hearts and saying, love to see you, which is fantastic. Nigel Sadler, Neil Gardner have joined, which is great. Emily Champion is, I'm in TLCI. No, she says, I'm TLC. Oh, yes, of course, Emily Champion. Is that the lovely EC? No, wait a minute. How do you get Emily Champion? How do you get to TLC? Or do you need TLC? Should I come round there and just give you a slight massage? Julia says, nice evening. Oh, I've lost it now. Hold on a minute. I'm just trying to get up there. Evening all. Got intermittent connection from the roller disco. She is watching, ladies and gentlemen, on her phone on roller skates while there is a disco going on, playing all that lovely disco music. So if that's not dedication to the show, I do not know what is. So fantastic. Cynthia Julian has said, evening Richard. Cynthia, I have to tell you, you are going to be famous. Monday morning, you're on. We go bell ringing with the lovely, I've forgotten his name, Mr. Watts. Mr. Watts. We go bell ringing with Mr. Watts. and Cynthia is there. And we go to Thacum, ladies and gentlemen. I edited up the first video. I've been a bit behind with the editing, but it's all coming on. It's all coming on. I've got some more to edit, hopefully maybe over the weekend or maybe on Monday. I'll have it all edited up, which will be good news. Kushti Phil says good evening. Stuart Hill is there. Nick Tan has tuned in. He says he's in Winchester. Hello, Nick. And by the way, Nick, I did get your podcast through the post. I did email you about that, but never heard back. He's been doing the old-fashioned thing, Nick Tan has. Instead of using the internet, he's gone off the internet. He's found the internet. He gave it a sniff, ladies and gentlemen, and he found it was just, you know, a little bit mouldy. So he's gone back to the old-fashioned Royal Mail and he's been sending out CD-ROMs. CDs, lovely CDs, and you switch it on and you hear his dulcet tones and immediately you're hypnotised. He tells you the story of one of his favourite tracks, and then, by golly, he even goes on to sing it, which is amazing. Elaine Blazer is there, Anne Osborne, Richard Suggett, of course. He's at the Disco Inferno. No doubt he's there with the lovely Julia. And Paul Hines says hello. Steve Pilfold is out there going Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 1 over. Yes, I think that they're now chasing me down the A... Probably a few hundred miles back, actually. They're probably chasing me down the A24. But I was going at the national speed limit. Or at least that's, you know, these glasses aren't as good as they used to be. Evening all, says Wendy Wakelin. Looking forward, Wendy, to meeting you and riding on the back of your tractor or traction engine, whichever one we get. A traction engine, that's right, the lovely Victoria, if I remember right. Cynthia Julian is going, oh my God, international fame and stardom. How will I ever cope? How will you cope indeed? You see, it is worth, if you can get yourself over to Facebook, if you can bear it, and look for the Vobes show on Facebook, and you can be one of the people that I actually talk to live. You type something in, I see your name, and away we go. Cynthia Walder is there. Simon Brown is saying bye for now. Bye, Simon. It's been nice to see you. I don't know where he's off to. He's probably got something much more exciting and important to do, which I dare say all of you have at some point. But never mind. Nick Tan says, sorry, mate, been busy. Saw your email, couldn't be bothered. Arms and both legs. Oh, right. What, waving them? Is that what you mean? Richard Suggett says, what's new fandangled CD thingamajig? Well, you'll have to talk to Nick Tan, the music man. Check him out, nicktan.co.uk or some such number. Just put Nick Tan into Google, you'll find it. Todd Desborough says, hello, you all. Hello, y'all. How you doing, y'all? I'm all right, thank you. I'll be hornswoggled. Don't be hornswoggled for too long, because that can really sort of do terrible things with your spine. But anyway, enough of that gay banter, if you're allowed to say that. Matthew Holdsworth. Matthew Holdsworth is there. He says, I think Steve may be referring to your role in The Bill. Yes, I think he is, actually, in 1990, Richard. Yes, I think I did have to say into a radio, something like that. What was it? Oscar Sierra to Oscar Sierra. I did mumble something into it. I remember it. These old clunky walkie-talkies, they were the days. People may not realise, years ago, I used to do a lot of extra work, walk-on work, and I was a background PC in The Bill. Do you remember The Bill? The Bill was on ITV, Thames Television, I think it was. And they had different... I can tell you some stories about The Bill if you've got time. If you've got the inclination. I've got the money. No, wait a minute. That's not the way round it goes. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So I was a background PC. And people often say, oh, background PC. Would have seen you. And I say, yeah, of course you would have seen me. I was the blurred white shirt. Let me get this out. I was the blurred white shirt behind frosted glass at the end of the corridor. That was the style of acting that I used to do. Occasionally I would walk into an office with Sergeant Carver would be talking to one of the minions. I don't know, I can't remember all the characters now. And he would be talking to someone, and I would come in and go, "Here, Sarge," and put down a folder, gurning at the camera. And everyone would just ignore you because you were a background PC. You didn't matter. You were moving wallpaper. That's what you were, ladies and gentlemen. Just a bit of moving wallpaper. You were there to make the place look busy. And every now and again, you'd get the chance to drive in a squad car. It was great fun, because I remember one time, in fact, this was I'll tell you this story, the very first time, and this is absolutely no word of a lie true. Would I lie to you? Of course I wouldn't lie to you. The very first time I ever did The Bill, was this police program, right? And we were out on location, dressed up as a policeman in a squad car. The film studio, the film unit, was round the corner in a very dodgy area of London where it was all filmed. You couldn't see them from where we were, and we were in a car. There was another bloke called Ricardo and myself sitting in this sort of very flash a police car, dressed up as policemen, all very smart and all the rest of it. And we were sitting there, and what the idea was, we were supposed to... Excuse me, that was a little burp then. We were supposed to go belting in, with the lights on and everything, and we were to pull up and then leap out the car, because everything had kicked off, whatever it was. Never knew what it was. So, and they said, just wait there, we'll give you a walkie-talkie. So they gave us a walkie-talkie. And it was sitting in the back there, and we just waited for the queue. And we were sitting there waiting for the queue. A few people would walk past, and they'd look at this police car, you know, as they did. And we were sitting there, and Ricardo was driving, and it was supposed to drive in there ever so swiftly because it was all kicking off, like I said. So we're waiting for this queue, and we kept getting... Sorry, everybody, there's been a slight delay. Just one moment, please. We'll be going in a few minutes. One moment. Everybody stand in position, please. Stand by. We couldn't see it, so we're sitting there. And the interesting thing was, as we were sitting there waiting to go in and pounce, you saw people walking past, and they gave you the look. They looked at you, and because as far as they were concerned, everything looked like you were real policemen, and we were sitting there very, very much aware that the people were looking at us as if we were something horrible, because we were in this sort of, I don't know, this sort of rough estate area of London. And you could see people looking at us as if we were a nasty bit of work. And we were just, extras. We were actors who were just doing this just to drive in. That's all we were doing. We're sitting there like this, and people were coming on, and you could feel the hate. I've never felt that, so I have a lot of respect for policemen, because you could feel the hate coming at you. We were sitting there. Anyway, we carried on. We were waiting and waiting, and then suddenly, okay, hold on a minute, there's another delay. There was more delays, more delays. This was a very hot day in July. Can't remember the year. It was back in the 90s, I imagine, or late 80s, 90s. Very hot day. Very, very hot day. And they said, OK, we're going to be about half an hour. So we were sitting there. They forgot about us. We were sitting there on this street, this main street. They were round the corner. Nobody could see the unit. Nobody knew filming was going on. And we're waiting there. We're just actors in uniforms. We take our hats off. Oh, it's hot. It's very hot. In this car, in this squad car, all decked up with lights and everything. We're just sitting there like this. We take the ties off because they say it's going to be half an hour. We looked like the most scruff. I was undoing buttons. He was undoing buttons. We're lounging back like this, waiting for half an hour. Everybody everyone just stand by. Just stay where you are. We're getting out. He's smoking a fag like that, puffing away. I didn't smoke. And we just sort of like that. And the looks that people would give us, it was even what they would look at these policemen. Look at them lying about, this is the British, we pay our taxes for this. You could see their faces. They were disgusted. And some, I remember one person did come up and was sort of, can't remember what she said now, but she was sort of, you could tell that she was disgusted from Tunbridge Wells or whatever, and I said, look, we're actors, we're not real policemen, we're just actors, we're waiting. I said, well, that's all right then, that's all right. But they really genuinely thought we were the police sitting there. And then, of course, other people were coming up and going, oh yeah, is it a drugs raid, is it? A drugs raid, is it? It was amazing. And other people would say, excuse me, could you tell me where Leopold Road is? Where's Leopold Road? Leopold Road, that's in Crawley, isn't it? That's the place where the acid bath murderer murdered Mrs. Anne Durand Deacon back in 1949, if I remember rightly. That's a long way away. Go and busy yourself elsewhere. We don't know. We're actors. We're doing it. We're thespians, don't you know? Thank you. Anyway, so that was one of the stories that I could tell you other stories, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll tell you some other stories. Alan Piddington says, I used to have lunch outside the Bill studio, and we was at a party last week with PC Polly from the Bill. I think PC Polly was a new one. I'd left by then. Paul Hines says, Richard could double as Kojak. Yeah, thanks very much there. Who loves you, baby? Who loves you, baby? I could do, though, without the glasses. That would be good. Mark English says, I have a few Facebook friends who have been in the show. Which show? The Vobes show? Have they been in the Vobes show? Have they? Have they really? Emily Champion says, I just spat out my coffee, Paul. Oh, why? Was it no good? I've got some very nice coffee here. It's delish. Thank you very much. It was hotter in the in the late 80s. It was much hotter in the late 80s. My goodness. I mean, if it was in the 80s, I mean, that's very nearly boiling point, isn't it? If you're talking centigrade, of course. If you're not talking centigrade, if you're talking Fahrenheit, then I don't think that's terribly hot. In fact, 80s, I remember when I was at school, we used to go... Did you do this? Did you, when you were at school, did you go swimming with the school? We used to go swimming in Horsham. I went to Forest Boys. Forest Boys School. The Forest School for Boys, as they renamed it. It was... First of all, it was Forest Boys. Then they renamed it the Forest School for Boys. It was close to St Leonard's Forest near Horsham. You see, that's why it was called Forest Boys. Anyway, it was basically a 1970s comprehensive school, and I was used as for experiments. By the other boys. They thought it was a great idea to use me as a battering ram. What would happen? Could they knock a brick wall down with me, the Vobes? Could they knock a brick wall down with about 4 of them grabbing hold of me and bashing me into the wall? Could they knock the whole school down? Well, actually, it turns out that no, you can't. It did a lot of damage to my head, and I think I was very upset as these bully boys. I was bullied, ladies and gentlemen. I have no qualms about admitting that. I would be walking down the corridor, minding my own business, and there were a couple of blokes who just... I don't know, I think they had problems with their arms. Somehow their fist would contract for no apparent reason, and the arm would just fly out, boof, like that. It would just fly out. You've got to give them the benefit of the doubt. They must have had some sort of weird sort of smack you in the face compulsion. They saw my face, and they certainly wanted to smack it. So, yes, I was the target of a lot of bullies. It's probably why I'm a bit sort of stupid now. But anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, did you do this in the 1970s or whenever you went to school? Did you at some point have to go swimming? We went swimming to an outdoor swimming pool, talking of the 80s, and I remember looking up, and it always say the temperature of the outdoor swimming pool, it always used to say 78 degrees. And I thought, well, that's going to be warm. Well, of course, they were talking Fahrenheit. I don't know what... can somebody tell me what Fahrenheit, 78 degrees is Fahrenheit in centigrade? Can somebody work that out and let me know? That would be very interesting. Emily Champion says, lambda trained. Are you? Yes, I'm llama trained. Yes, I am. I've got all the wool and the long neck and everything about to prove it. Wendy Wakelin says, you need to turn your calendar over. Do you know, I was going to do that. Thank you very much. Thank you for reminding me, Wendy. I think we will do that. It's that moment. And of course, we do have turning the calendar over music to do that very thing. Here it comes. There it is. Good, eh? Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. All very silly. A bit dusty, those flowers. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've turned that over. It is now June the 1st, which is a lovely day. It's a lovely day. Have you had a good day? What are you doing this weekend? I want to find out what you're doing this weekend. Alan Pinnington says, I worked off Tower Bridge Road, Bermondsey in the 90s, and that's where they were filming the bill around then. Yes, they did do a lot of that, actually. Back in the 90s, they've had many different studios, and actually I can tell you this: they were in Balby Road for a long time in this old Victorian building, and then they moved to Merton on an industrial estate, and they decided that they would replica the set completely as it was in the other building on the other side of near White City, and they went south to Merton. And what they decided to do was not only do it replica, but actually photograph every damn scratch, every little thing in there. So as an extra, you got used to Balby Road's studios, which was a real building, and all the things, the rooms, you'd open that room and you'd go into the front office, and you'd go into the CID department, you'd go into Sergeant Cryer's office, you'd go into where the cells were, and all. You'd know where all the doors went. Well, they made this replica set They made the replica set identical, except that the doors didn't go to the same places. You'd go through one door, which you knew used to go into the cells, but there was a brick wall. Or you'd open it up and it went into makeup, because it was very weird setup. And then they decided that the ITV wanted to make the bill go out, not just, I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays or whatever it was. They wanted it to go out almost every night. And so they needed to make more programmes. And so they built a second replica set. And you'd got used to the first replica set knowing, that now just goes to a brick wall and the canteen door actually goes to somewhere else. And suddenly you're in another set, and identical, amazingly identical, and you'd get lost. You'd go, hang on a minute, which set am I in? Am I in the replica set or the replica's double? You'd get very confused. It was very confusing work. Linda Kane says, we went to Victoria North Road baths. Oh, did you? In Brighton? Well, the Victoria North Road baths, what are they like? Are they nice? Is that a sort of communal bath? Do you share a big loofah, do you? Or just the loof? I'd be interested to know. I don't know why. Steve Pilfold says, we had a teacher. He had an affair with a pupil, got a promotion to head of the department elsewhere. Well, this is what you need if you're a teacher. Just have an affair with a pupil and you get promoted to the head. What? Hang on a minute. That doesn't sound right. Claire Leach used to go to Fitzherbert School. That's a nice name. Where do you go? Fitzherbert. That's nice. In Woodingdean. They went to the outdoor swimming pool. Blooming freezing it was. Oh, finally we've got it. Lovely. Thank you very much, Alan Piddington. 78 degrees. Fahrenheit is 22.5. So that's not too cold, is it? 22.5 degrees. It's just a little bit over room temperature. Always used to feel cold when I went in there. Todd Desborough says, my swimming instructor jumped off a bridge and drowned. Well, there's a lesson for you, isn't it? All right, boys, gather round, ladies and gentlemen. Gather round, that's it. There we are. Come on, you, Earth's a Minor. Come over here, that's it. Now, I'm going to show you how to dive off this bridge, all right? Here we go, then. Now, on a count of 3, I will dive off the bridge. Be very easy. Watch very carefully and take notes. Trouble was, what he didn't realise, perfect dive, even did a couple of somersaults, but, of course, it was an estuary bridge and the tide was out. That's what happened to him. Broke his neck in one. Am I right, Todd? Or did I make that last bit up? Emily Champion says, my head, who I worked with, oh yeah, had an affair with a nun. Blood blooming heck. You worked with a man who had an affair with a nun. Gosh. Was that force of habit? Is that something that she did regularly? Where did they do that? In the little nunnery? She'll have none of that, I'll tell you. I'm having none of that! As he unzipped his... Well, anyway, let's see what else. Terry Wood says, Torbay Air Show and the real ale this weekend. Well, I want to be going to that and have some real ale. I've just got some real freeze-dried coffee, ladies and gentlemen. Freeze-dried coffee. Delicious. Sue Blount says 78 is 25.5 degrees, which we've just had, actually, Sue, but thank you very much for the effort. Very kind of you. It's always nice to know that people are out there ready to give the support to the Vobie One-Eyed Kenobi. Now, I've got some bad news today. Bad news. Absolutely terrible news. Went out filming today with Colin, a lovely nice bloke called Colin. Colin Brown, I think. Is it Colin Brown? Yes, I think so. Anyway, he's the one that's been putting up all these lovely pictures. I was hoping to see him there, actually, in the thing. Anyway, Colin and I went to do some filming. And we met up. He's put these amazing pictures that he photographs with his drone. And he said, look, you've been for a walk round the River Arun recently. Why don't you meet up with me? We could go and have a bit of a walk and we'll do some drone footage. I thought that would be great. Bring the gimbal, bring the camera, do all the usual. So off I went to Billingshurst, and we wanted to get to Lordings Lock, which was very nice. And also there is an automated paddle wheel, which now it's a round wheel. Well, I know wheels are round. What is it? An automated water wheel. An automated water wheel. It's like a paddle wheel that you get in a mill. And the idea is the river runs parallel to the canal. And every time a boat goes through the lock, it takes a certain amount of water away. Well, unless you can replenish the water, of course, eventually all the water in the canal is gone. So because the River Arun was next to the Arun Navigation Canal, they decided they would cleverly put this water wheel that would scoop up water and shove it into the canal so it never ran out of water, which is ever so good. Anyway, so you can go and see all this. It's very nice. It's very interesting. So we thought we'd make a bit of a video about it, which was a great idea. However, ladies and gentlemen, hang on a minute. I'm just trying to see which way does this go. It doesn't go that way. It goes this way. There we go. Is Colin there? Colin Brown. There he is. Marvellous. Well done, Colin. You won't believe how quickly I got home, I can tell you. Anyway, all within the legal limits, of course. Those variable limits that they use. Anyway, the point is, Emily says, I had a PE teacher called Miss Trainer. Did you ever find it? Bum tish. Anyway, so we went out filming. And part of the idea was I was going to film myself on the camera, on the gimbal, and then we would cut to some drone shots and all the rest of it. Well, I did the first little bit, and then the gimbal broke. Yeah, that's right, the gimbal broke. You know my walking videos, ladies and gentlemen, the walking videos that I do every day, where I have the camera floating on this gimbal, and it looks amazing, and everybody says, oh, Richard, how do you do it? My camera's on a gimbal. Gimbal broke. My gimbal broke! My gimbal! It's broken! Now, this is a bit of a panic because two things. Firstly, I was going up to Shropshire this weekend. I still got to go up to Shropshire this weekend in Shrewsbury. It's Shrewsbury, whichever you want to say, to see Harriet and sort of, talk over our divorce. Well, it's not a divorce because we're not married, but we've split up and that's it, but we've kind of got things to sort out. And I was going to go and do some walks and do some videoing with my camera and my gimbal. Did I mention my gimbal broken? Yeah, my gimbal's broken, by the way. But never mind that. Matthew Holdsworth has very kindly organised something on Wednesday, the 6th. He's spent painstaking amount. He's got these people all lined up. We're going to do some filming. And Matthew must now be shivering in his pants, so to speak, because he's like, what do you mean? Your gimbal's broken. Have I got to cancel everything? Yes. Oh, no. Broke your gimbal, ladies and gentlemen. Gimbal death. Well, so there am I in a field by a disused canal with a man with a drone. And my gimbal's broken. So what did I do? Got hold of the mobile phone, got onto Amazon, looked up immediately. When you normally go, well, I've got to buy a piece of kit. I need to look at the pros and look at the cons and work out whether to buy it, not to buy it, which one's better, what's the reviews, blah, 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 diddly-doo, flimpity-flop. Turns out the version of the gimbal that I've got no longer is out there anymore. It's no longer doing it. So, Mark Taylor says it's not taming of the shrow, is it? That's true. Yes. You're talking about the Shrewsbury and the Shrewsbury debate. Will people get this into their stupid heads? Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury is not named after the mammal. It's not. It has nothing to do with a mammal. Yes, there's a football team called the Shrews because they've named themselves erroneously after what they think that Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury is named after a mammal. It isn't. It's from Old English, Shrubblesbury. It has nothing to do with shrews. It's just spelt that way, but it has nothing to do with the animals. Anyway, there was I in a field. I just thought I'd make that clear, Mark Taylor. Thank you. You go to your TV little sabbatical or whatever it is and talk to your fancy Dalek people in little plie skirts and your Davroses dancing about. I'm only joking, Mark. I'm only joking. Anyway, so I hope you didn't take that seriously. So there was I in this field in the middle of nowhere. Went over here, got onto Amazon. The version 3 that I wanted to buy is no longer available. Oh, version 4, right, buy it. Coming Tuesday. New gimbal. Coming Tuesday. Better be good. Better be good. Had no choice. Just had to buy it. Whatever the cost. Whatever the cost. £872 I thought was a little high. Didn't buy that one, actually. I bought the other one. I bought the version 4. So, breathe, says Pam. Richard Suggett says, you were talking about buying a second gimbal. I know, I should have bought it when I was thinking about it. We were experiencing a mini Vobes rant. Yes, I need to have another drink now to get over it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I haven't, hang on a minute. So the gimbal's broken. I'm going up to Shrewsbury with, I'm going to take it and see if I can, I don't know, fiddle and fart with it. You might say, what is the matter with it? What is the matter with it? Oh, you did say that. All right, then, fair enough. Well, I'll tell you what was wrong. I haven't got it here, but normally you press a button and the thing is like a little drunken puppet most of the time. It's like this floppity flu, and it's sort of like this. And you press this button, and somehow it must be the secret magic button that sort of gets it all, steamed up and ready, because it suddenly goes, "Whoa! Hello!" like that. And then you can press other buttons, which is holding the camera, and it can go boop, boop, and it'll stay in the same place all the time. It's absolutely marvelous. Well, this time I was pressing the button, it's going, do you know what? I can't be asked. I've had too much to drink and I'm not performing. It didn't even sort of go, like that. It didn't even try to get up. It just did nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was insane. It was just and then this red light was flashing, and I thought, oh, and I turned it. I took the battery out, restarted it. I did a magic dance. I prayed to the evil spirits of the thing above, whatever the thing above. I don't know what it is. And it managed to do it once. It did come to a. So I did a quick press the button, press the what is the button on the camera that turns the camera on? What do they call that? Not the trigger. There's a button that turn. What do you call? I'm brain dead now, ladies and gentlemen. Brain dead. What is the button you press that turns the camera into the record button? Thank you. That's right. I had to work that out slowly because the brain cell has gone. I think the brain cell is in the gimbal. I think the brain cell has also flopped over to the other side. But never mind. Anyway, so it did that. Not working. Gimbal gone. Your gimbal hates you. Fallen out of love with you. Yes, it probably has. Who said that? Mark Selwood. It probably has, which is a shame. Power button. Well, that'll do. Paul Hines says, are you going to see the lovely Harriet or Harriet? I'm going to see the lovely Lola, in actual fact, and I will see Harriet as well. I'm hoping, I mean, Harriet may even be watching, you never know. Yes, I broke my gimbal, Elaine, I've just spotted it. I'm hoping that Harriet and I can still remain friends, and I am trying to hope that Harriet will still do some videos, because she was very, very good at them, and it would be nice. I did ask her, but she said, oh, well, that was a boyfriend-girlfriend thing, and I don't know. And I thought, oh, it's a shame. That would be a shame, because everybody loved her. And I said, everybody loves you. We all want to see you, and we want to see little Lola. So what we need to do is to sort of, persuade her in a nice way and say, oh, come on, Harriet. You're a star in your own. You don't have to be going out with a Vobie one-eyed Kenobi. Who wants to go out with a Vobie one-eyed Kenobi? He's got one eye. He's got a bald head. He's got an irrational personality. He rants. He probably is rank. He's probably horrible, and he's never available because he's doing a blooming nightly show on here, and he lives miles away. But never mind all that. When he does come up to see you, why don't you be in the video? That would be quite nice. Anyway, so I will ask her. I will ask her again and see if I, see if I can persuade her in some fashion. But anyway, but I can't obviously over the weekend because the gimbal is broken, which doesn't help matters, does it? Anyway, Jennifer Stewart has just joined us. Hello, Jennifer. Lovely to see you. What's your excuse for being late? Mine was that I was out in a field with a man with a drone, and we were doing some filming, and then we had another issue that we couldn't get the footage of the drone onto my old USB stick, because my USB stick came out of the Ark, and I had to leave it with Colin, and he said he'll post it to me. And the other thing is, he lives in this beautiful house in beautiful gardens, right in the middle of the countryside. Absolutely lovely. What an idyllic lifestyle he has. He's got this huge lawn. He's got this separate garage. He's got this amazing building. He lives in there's this old, beautiful pub just down the road from him. It's absolutely amazing. Only he gets barely any internet whatsoever, can't upload a thing. Can't upload it, barely gets the signal down. This is the trouble when you live in the countryside, and I do feel sorry for people like Colin, that in the countryside, you never mind fibre, never mind bits of copper. It barely can get, he said his 4G is much faster. He gets about a third of a meg download speed or upload speed or whatever. So no wonder, you know, whenever I'm doing the show, and only in morning like that. That's what it's like. So there you go. Anyway, so that's that. Alan Piddington says we hear Jennifer Stewart. So we hear Jennifer. I don't know what that means. Oh, she says she's got issues. Jennifer Stewart's got issues. Oh, we'd like to know what those issues are, Jennifer Stewart. What are the issues that you've got in your town, where you are, where you live, across the pond in America? What are they? That's what we'd like to know. That would be good. Mark Taylor says, better than being stuck in a field with a droning man. Well, there is that. There is that. Haven't seen the footage yet, but we're hoping to get some of the pictures. Colin said he's going to put a couple of the photographs that is taken up on the Bald Explorer group page. So if you could do that, that would be lovely. Also, could somebody just quickly go and tell me how, because I haven't had access to the internet much because I've been out in this field where there's no signal, working away, ladies and gentlemen, to make stuff for your entertainment, let me tell you. Let me remind you, with a broken gimbal that I've now got to go and buy another one. Well, I bought another one, recklessly, ladies and gentlemen. Could somebody tell me how many members we've got in the Bald Explorer group? I haven't had a chance to check it in. I shot the car in home, got out the car, rushed round here, switched on the lights, switched on the camera, went upstairs and emptied the bladder, and made a cup of coffee, sat down, switched on. And in actual fact, we were traipsing through a field, and we went through these puddles, these terrible big puddles, and I've worked out that my walking boots have no waterproofing whatsoever, to the point that I had wet feet when I came through the door, soaking wet feet. I managed to pull off the boots and take off my socks, ladies and gentlemen. 711, thank you very much. And to prove that, look, there is my foot, ladies and gentlemen. That's just one of them. Here is the other one. I'm hoping I'm not going to fall over. That's the other foot, ladies and gentlemen. So I have just quite literally whipped him off like that. And the other one came running through. My son Billy is in the kitchen having a meal. He saw me come belting his, "What's the matter, Dad?" I said, "I'm on air. I'm supposed to be on air." No air here. So, so I've come in. I haven't eaten yet, ladies and gentlemen. Normally I eat before the show, a good hour or so before. I prep up the show. I go and get the group pictures. But today I have rushed in with no material whatsoever. I've switched it on, and there we go. Martin Snow says, just posted a link to Lording's Lock working in the group. It's fascinating at Lording's Lock. It's absolutely fascinating. They've got this wheel. I may have mentioned it. Glenn Johnson says there's 6,471 people in the group. I think that might be a bit of an exaggeration there. Very kind of you. Frank Carver is also saying 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven? Isn't that the name of a shop? Oh, I could go and get some food. I haven't eaten yet. Glenn Johnson says Spoil Sport. Sorry about that. Everyone's lying. Yes, I see. Alan Pinnington says you've stopped moving, but I have sound. Oh, that does happen. I'm sorry. This is now a radio show. The Barefoot Explorer now, says Nigel Sadler. Yes, the barefoot. That gets to the bare bones of it, really. Emily Champion says, I got wet foot vobing this afternoon. Stepped into a puddle. It's so easily done, Emily, isn't it? It's so easily done. Have you been posting some more videos up there, Emily? Where are you based? I can't remember where you're based. We should go out and do a vobing report together wherever you happen to live. I'm meeting up with Sarah Paul soon. Sarah Paul, Richard keeps asking if you want to borrow his gimbal. Yes, I say, hello. Can I borrow your gimbal? Very nice. Sarah Paul, whilst you're there, I don't want to look like a fool, Sarah Paul, but are there still enough wild flowers? We're going on a wild flower hunt, which is very nice, aren't we? I can't remember, you're up near Horsham somewhere, aren't you? So we're going to go and have a... that can't be too far away now. I can't remember when the date's in my diary. At least my diary's still working. Mark Selwood, someone asked what music Richard was playing. It was Sid Dale, The Penthouse Suite. That's correct. Sid Dale, The Penthouse Suite. Here it is. if you know the moves, you can do them at home. It's very difficult to dance in here with bare feet, you know. Anyway, I've played that one. Another favourite of mine is most of my favourite ones actually are not on this system. I need to get them on here. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. You need to let me know where you want to go. Oh, Sarah Paul, I thought you knew where we were going. Look, don't blow my cover. Basically, I know nothing. I'm reliant on everybody else doing all the work for me, and I just turn up and gurn. That's all I do. I turn up with a camera and I just go, hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, going on another walk. Gurn, gurn, gurn. And here is, whoever it is, here's the lovely Sarah Paul. Hello, Sarah Paul. You're no fool, Sarah Paul. Where are we going, Sarah? And then Sarah Paul would normally say, well, Richard, I'll tell you where we're going. We're going on a lovely hunt for some wildflowers. Where are we going, Sarah Paul, for this lovely hunt for wildflowers? Well, Richard, I've been doing all this research. I've spent 30 years, man and girl, doing it. Oh, yes, what? In between being one of those lovely people with the hankies jumping up and down that, what do they do? Morris men. Yes, that's right, Richard. I am a Morris man, as you can see. Here's my manly chest. Oh, yes, I can see your manly chest, Sarah Paul. Thank you very much. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Where are we doing this wildflower gathering thing? Well, I'll take you up over Den Park. Oh, Den Park. It's very nice over Den Park. Yes, I'll take you into the elephant trap, Richard Vobes. Oh, will you, Sarah Paul? Into the elephant trap? Yes, I'll take you there immediately and leave you there, you silly man. So that's normally how it works, more or less. You know, that's probably verbatim, actually, how these... You can see how much trouble I have in the edit process to try and actually, you know, get it down, because you'll see next week Cynthia Julian invited me to Thacombe to do the bell ringing with Mr. Watts, whose first name... is it Colin? First, I can't remember now. I was only editing it earlier. And she said, oh, Richard, come! You must come to Thacombe! I said, what, Thacombe? I don't think I've ever been to Thacombe. Oh, Richard, you must come to Thacombe and see the church! I said, what, see the church? Oh, I'll get my big, friendly, beefy bell ringer out. Your beefy bell ringer? Oh, Richard, I'll get my big... He'll be pulling his big rope, and the big bell will be swinging this way and that. Swing, swung, bing, bong. This is what I have to... This is what I have to contend to, and I've had to edit that so it doesn't quite sound so strange. I mean, so that's how it works. Alan Piddington says, wow, I thought Sarah was in the room then. I know, it's so lifelike, isn't it? It's so lifelike. Jennifer Stewart says, Sarah, your voice is lovely. Absolutely, you see. I've got it off. I've got some places we can go to, says Vobes. Says Emily now. No fear. I haven't put her off. She's saying, oh, yes, I've got places. And I can imagine, because I've seen a little bit of your stuff, Emily. I can imagine you'll be there going, Richard! Oh, come, Richard! I'll take you down to places. We're going to some dark, dank caves where there's chains where you can be hung upside down. And I'll bring my children and we can all laugh at you. Sorry, I don't know what's in this coffee, but whatever it is a little bit hyper-making. Steve Pilford says, is the gimbal a proprietary battery, or is it a standard AA? He says, it sounds like a cell may have permanently expired, can't give enough gumph current. Red light flashing usually means battery low. Oh, I may only need to buy a new battery. I don't know where you buy these new batteries from. Yeah, so it is a proprietary battery, you're quite right. That's the thing. Maggie Walter says, I missed most of this, had to pop off, I've lost it now, had to pop off to answer the door. How long were you at the door? Don't tell me it was the Mormons again, knocking on the door, collecting money. Hello, mate. Hello, Mormons here. All right? We want some money for our collection. Do you mind? Bit of money, help the Mormon church. We got more or less the church, but we want more. More. That's why we're the Mormen.
Yes, we're moor men. Get it? We have our church on the moors. That's where we have it. It's a long trip along the moors. I don't want to go droning on about it, but there's a man with a thing in the sky floating about, and a man with... Oh, it looks like he's got his socks and shoes off. What's he up to? Anyway, give us your money for the moor men. Thank you.
That's what they're like. If it was the Moonies, a little bit different. Sarah Paul says, I'm a bit scared now because I'm not a wildflower expert. Now she tells me. Now, she was posting these pictures, ladies and gentlemen, on the group going,
oh, Richard, look at this. This is a wild pansy.
Oh, yeah, wild pansy, is it?
Oh, yes, Richard. Then look at this one. This is a dandelion scruffball.
Oh, dandelion scruffball. Never seen one of that.
Oh, and Richard, this is a Penelope Quickie Quack.
A what?
A Penelope Quickie Quack.
Oh, that's interesting. It's pink with funny little droopy petals.
That's right, Richard. Yes, it's got all of that. Ha ha! Ha ha ha!
Something's gone wrong. I think the Vobes has gone wrong. Is there a red light flashing on me at the moment, ladies and gentlemen? Is there a red... Is one of my cells, I think the brain cell's not working. Talk crime and punishment this year. Some of the children cried. Oh, really? Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine you, Emily, at school there going,
well, children, it's like this, children. Oh, I can imagine crime and punishment. You do something wrong. Just imagine. Here we are, little Joey. Come up here, little Joey. Hello, little Joey. Oh, imagine that you've done something wrong in the good old days. Imagine you've nicked a sixpence. A lovely tiny little sixpence. Let's just imagine that, shall we? And the judge has gone, oh, little Joey. Oh, little Joey, you've taken a sixpence.
And little Joey's sitting there looking up going,
oh, 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 oh.
And you're going,
oh, yes, imagine the judge, he said, oh, you've nicked a sixpence. That's a naughty, naughty thing. You shouldn't have done it.
And then the little Joey's going, yeah, no, I shouldn't have done it, really. No, I shouldn't. And the judge is, and Emily's now being the judge going,
oh, well, no, you know what I need to do? I've got to put my black hat on. There, I've got my black hat on. You know what my black hat means, don't you?
And little Joey is going, oh, I don't know what the black hat means.
She said, oh, hang on. She said, he said,
because Emily's being the judge at this point.
She said,
this is your crime and punishment class. I can imagine it completely.
Look, you horrible little boy, you've been such a naughty thing. We're going to string you up. Take him, put him on a hurdle, and drag him to the point where he's going to, where his life will be.
Well, I can't remember the exact phrase now. What they used to say that, didn't they? Put him on a hurdle, and you will be taken to the place of execution or something like that. And then they got hold of it.
So come on, little boy, come on,
And I no doubt, Emily, because you want to make it as real as possible. There's your rope hanging there, and you get the little Joey or Jimmy or whatever his name is, and you grab hold of him. I'll be no good at the register because I can't remember the kids' names. Get him into. No wonder they all cried, Emily. No wonder they all cried. Nikki, are you watching this? Says Jennifer Stewart. No, Nikki can't bear to watch it.
Oh, I'm not watching this. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's frightening.
Cynthia Julian says, you were certainly calmer when you had the gin. Yes, I better have some gin to calm down. Dave Baker says, great show, really enjoying the great show. Thanks, Richard. Thanks, Dave. What show are you watching? Obviously not this one. Emily says, you so know me. Yeah, there we go, you see. Give him a good ale. Lovely. Kevin Hall says, TLG... you need to be there with him. He's off on one again. Yes, where are you, TLG? You need to come along with your loofah. I need to... Do you remember the story when I told you that the TLJ, that's the, isn't it? If you call her the TLJ, that's the lovely Julia. The lovely Julia. Hey, the. Anyway, it was a story. I can't remember the story. She was chasing me around. Maybe it was a dream. I can't remember. Chasing me around with a loofah sponge. I'm not sure how that goes. Anyway, someone give him a drink. I bought in the handcuffs. Oh, did you? You brought in the handcuffs. Oh, and they cried.
Crime and punishment, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these handcuffs. Yes, I'll take that.
And are you the one that worked with the bloke who had the affair with the nun and the pupil and all the rest of it?
Come on, little boy. Here we go. Get in the handcuffs. Now I'll show you what we do in the broom cupboard.
No, let's not go down that road. Dave Baker says, I'm watching you, Richard. I'm watching you. Mark Selwood says, can I have some of what he's on? All you've got to do is be late for the show, and then what comes out of your mouth is absolute twaddle. I don't know how it works, but it's marvellous. Nikki says, I want to bring some tea. I want to bring him some tea. I've got some cold coffee now. It's not even camp coffee. And the trouble is, in this day of PC, you can't go, oh, no, a bit of camp coffee. It's nice. Can't do that anymore, unfortunately. Otherwise, there'll be another knock at the door.
Hello, mate. It's the Moormen. We can't have any more of those jokes. Not in this show, you know. Camp coffee and all that. No. We can't have any more of that. That's sorry about that, because we're the Moormen. You should have got the less men in. They're less fussy. Absolutely. There's less of them.
Don't you mean there's fewer of them?
Oh, stop it. You're being pedantic.
Yes, I know. Pedantic's my middle name.
Oh.
Oh, hello. Phone's just gone. Richard Suggett. He says here, do you want to borrow my gimbal this weekend? Well, that's very kind of you, sir. Very kind of you. What a nice man. Would you? Look, here is his text. He says, do you want to borrow my gimbal this weekend, Richard? It will only cost you £500. Oh, sorry, £550. A blimmin' cheat. Gets us in the allotment, feeds us with this elderberry flower stuff, and now wants to charge me £500. That's very kind. No, I don't like to borrow somebody else's gimbal. Yeah. Do you want to borrow my gimbal? I can get it up, you know. I'll press the right button, and it all comes very erect. Yeah, I'm sure it does. But I don't like playing with another man's gimbal. You see, it's just a thing it's just a phase I'm going through, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a phase, you know. I'm sure in this multicultural, multi-gender world that we now live in, I'm sure it's possible that one could go and play with another man's gimbal, and it would be absolutely fine, and no one would moan and no one would say anything. You know, we're back to Camp Coffee now. But no, but it's so kind of you to offer, Richard. That's so kind. I'm gonna. What can I do with my? Well, I don't know whether my gimbal will work. I feel. Basically, I couldn't live with myself if something went wrong. So what I suppose I could do the Mark English approach. I haven't got a selfie stick and stick it on a selfie sprick. A selfie sprick? I could put it on a selfie sprick, whatever that is. Dave Baker says, I'm getting my first gimbal, mine coming in the post, so looking forward to it. Well, I hope it's not broken like mine. Emily Champion says, that sounds like me turning up for work to teach every day. Well, I wish I'd been in your class, Emily. I'm sure it was absolutely brilliant. What a hoot that would have been. Dave Salsona says, get the hook in capitals. I don't know what you mean, get the hook. What does that mean? That's a very strange thing to suddenly say out of nowhere. Apropos of nothing. Apropos. Is that Latin? Apropos. Don't know what it means. Get a strap on. Oh, I say. I say. One doesn't want to go down that road, does one? No. Oh, you mean on my hat? A strap on my hat. Oh, yes, I see what you're talking about. I don't mind, sir. It's still under warranty. Well, that Richard Suggett, that's so kind. I don't know what to say. Well, I'm leaving tomorrow. That's the problem. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane. Who sung that? Who was that? That was a famous song, wasn't it? Da 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 da. How does it go? That I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving. That was a hit for somebody, wasn't it? Not for me, clearly. I've got to leave, Richard, in the morning. I'll be getting up at 5 and leaving at 6, and I'm up at Shrewsbury at 9:30. So I won't be able to get hold of your gimbal. And as kind as you are, I'm not going to get into my car and drive over because I'm absolutely drained. And I daren't go on the roads because I think they're all still looking for me. Oscar Sierra, Oscar 1, are you receiving?
Yes, we're still looking out for the mad driver on the A24 who was coming south from Billingshurst earlier.
John Denver. Oh, was it John Denver? Thank you, Jane. And by the way, Jane, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you know, going up to Shrewsbury, I don't think I can fit it in this time. I did think that I would pop up a little bit further to see you. I don't know where you live exactly. I know you're in Lancashire somewhere, probably hiding, in case the old Vobes comes round. But I did think of visiting you and making sure that you were all right, because I know you've been having a few little problems. Richard Suggett says, I can run it over tonight for you. Don't run it over. Don't run it. It'll be broken. I've seen your van. It's heavy. You put it down on the road and drive over it. That's no good. What a fool. What a fool. I'm surrounded by idiots. Wait. There's nobody here. Wait, I am the idiot. Oh, you mean you could bring it over? Oh, you don't want to do that, Richard. I would... You've got me now. I'm tempted. Just to see your lovely little face. Hang on, Julia Hartley Neal. My engineer is offering his services to look at your gimbal if you like. He might be able to work his magic on it. Magic. Well. But it's already late and I've got to get to sleep. I'm up at 5. I'm driving for 3.5 hours in the morning. I've got to go to this prison. Oh, I've let the bag out, the cat there. I'm going to prison tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'm going to prison. No, not because of the driving. No, not because... Hang on, what time is it? We've nearly done an hour. We started at 8:15. I've nearly done an hour. I've got to go to prison tomorrow on a prison tour. Shrewsbury Prison, in the Georgian prison underneath the Victorian prison. It's a special trip that Harriet's organised. At least I hope Harriet hasn't just managed to find an old cell that nobody goes in and thinks, Richard and I have broken up now. Yes, I'll get him up there. Oh, Richard. She'll go, oh, Richard, oh, come on up. You know what women are like.
Come on up, Richard. Come on up, see me. Come and see me. And we'll go on that lovely prison tour, I promise you. Lovely, lovely prison tour. Lovely. And little Lola be there. Lola, come here, little Lola. Lick, 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 lick. 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 All right, Lola. Lick, lick, lick. Yes, all right, we've had enough licking, thank. Lick, lick, lick. I like licking. Licky, 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 likey. Licky, likey, licky, likey.
Stop licking with the likey licking. What time are you leaving? I'm leaving at 6 in the morning, Julia. I'm leaving at 6. I'm not good at borrowing things, says Maggie. No, I'm not. It won't be fun, though. Anyway, so I've got to go to this prison thing, and I'm hoping that Harriet won't throw me in and lock the door and nobody find me until, 25 years later. Richard Suggett is a true hero, says Soreen Diegelman. How do you pronounce your name? Seren. Is it Seren? Serene? I'm rubbish at names which are spelt weird. Just to say, if you could you tell us what time are you leaving? Yeah, I'm leaving at 6. It's basically, sort of, because what is it now? 9:15. I've got to pack a bag, and then I'm leaving on a jet plane with my mate John Denver. And then I'm off in the morning. So as much as everybody's being very, very kind and everything, I really don't. I don't want to put anyone to any trouble. Really don't want to put them to trouble, because then it'd be all difficult. More Seren. Sorry, I was getting the more as part of the word. No. Seren. Oh, sir. As in Seren. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present the very lovely Sir Ren. Or Sir N, not Ren. Sir N. Seren. Is that it? Seren Diegelman. Lovely name. Lovely name. Thank you very much for that. That's ew. It says, what? Dave, sorry, the screen went then. Did you notice the screen went a bit funny? So there we go. Indeed. Sir N. I've got to try and remember that. I've got nothing to write down. So, how are we doing? We've virtually come to the end of the show. How is it possible to pull a rabbit out of the hat? I had no material. I haven't been to the group. I haven't done anything. We've managed to pass the time. The poor YouTube people are going like this. Oh yeah, call that funny, do you? Call that entertainment? And I apologise, YouTube people. People like Peter May, who has actually walked past my house. Now he's figured out where I lived. I'm not going to knock on your door. Don't worry. Yeah, hello? Who's that? Is that the Moore men? No, not us, sir. We're still here, but it's not us. Oh,
It was him.
Oh, yeah, Peter May. He walks past my door every day. Knocks on it. Runs away. Just like that. Blimey. Terry Wood says, brilliant show this evening, sir. Thank you very much, Terry. That's very kind of you. And look at all those beers. Is that beers that you put up there? Very nice. Great show, says Dave Baker. Well, it was funny, crazy show. It was a crazy show, Sir N. It was a crazy show. And you're a star, says Maggie Walter. Well, I didn't want to let anybody down. I haven't eaten yet, so that's a bit daft. Kevin Hall says, because you did what you do best, waffled for half an hour. Yes. I could probably, what's that thing, gerrymandering, isn't it, that the Parliament people do, the people in the government. They do a lot of gerrymandering. Maybe I should have been an MP. I could have stood up there and waffled about some this, that and the other clause,
I think what we're going to do is we're going to set a movement, ladies and gentlemen, to have all the artwork in the world turned upside down so that we can appreciate it from a different perspective. We're going to turn it upside down and we're going to place them in different sorts of frames, much smaller frames. So actually the frame is part of the picture, very much in the picture. It is the picture itself. You could say that being part of the picture, the frame is no longer a frame, and the picture is the frame, and everything's upside down in a topsy-turvy world, you see, because when the big master in the sky decides to take us away with the sending in the black hooded figure of death with the big scythe like that and beheads you, just as it did in Emily Champion's class with little Joey earlier in the show today before the Mormon are here. Ellie, do you want some more? Oh golly, I don't know where I'm going. Anyway, so yes, I could be one of them gerrymandering people. Nikki Jess is saying good night to everybody. You don't know I'm going. I might not go yet. You're all saying good night before it's finished. How dare you? It's not finished yet, Oh, it hasn't finished until the fat lady sings la 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 la. Oh, yeah, she's singing. Clapping hands, like the Kenneth Williams. Oh, no, it's not Misn about. Matron. What are you going to have for tea? Well, actually, I haven't got any food in. Well, I have. I've got some leftovers from lunch, which is some funny little sausages. I've got what's left of a tiny bit of quiche. Oh, nice bit of quiche then, isn't it? Is it quiche Lorraine? Is it? Nice, yeah. And a ton of salad, so I should be eating that. Kevin Hall says, Richard, whatever you do, don't stop doing the shows, for it will be terrible. Well, don't worry. The shows are terrible as it is, so nothing changes. Nothing changes. Couple more posted now. Couple are posted. Ladies and gentlemen, go and have a look. Go to the Bald... Hang on, I'm going to do it as we speak. I'm going there now. Bald Explorer group. Let's have a look. There we are. I'm going to have a look and have a quick look. Thank you, Colin. It's what a lovely bloke he's doing. I'm just coming past there. Richard Vobes. Hang on. Where is it? Oh, there's one. Just now. I've seen it. There we are. We're looking. If you go now, ladies and gentlemen, into the group, in the Bald Explorer group, and if you're on YouTube, you can still do this because it'll be there. Look for Colin Brown, and you'll see a couple of, as Colin said, as he took the pictures, we look like a Right Said Fred tribute act. So we're standing there looking at what is the sort of archaeological remains, ladies and gentlemen, of a automated water wheel on the Arran navigation, which is all very nice. And then below that, there is a walk picture of a bridge at another little lock, or small lock, with a bridge over it and a couple of gates. It's a different lock, that one. Oh, hang on. And then there's a third bridge. Oh, that was great. Wow, look at that. There's Richard contemplating a swim. And I'm looking very dapper, if I may say so. You can prove that I've just literally, what did you say, literally? Yeah, don't get me wrong. That I have come from that picture, because look, I'm still wearing the same attire, except unfortunately I've got shoes on there where, as you saw earlier, ladies and gentlemen, I now only have my feet, which is a feature of me. Anyway, listen, we've run out of time and I'm hungry and you want to do something else with your life. You don't want to rely on listening to my old nonsense, and why should you? And, I didn't realise I'm chopping out half of my head. Somebody should have said. I'm looking at the wrong screen half of the evening, but never mind. What else? Couple more posted. Richard, whatever you do. Yeah, I read that. Your time is up. Go to bed, says Glenn. Yes, thank you, Glenn. Much appreciated. So, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. When what? When you what? When you, hang on, put the hearing aid on. When you
Wait, hang on. That wasn't at the right level. I had to turn the hearing aid up. When you hear what, did you say? Oh, the music. Yes, I realise that now. Thank you. It's all a bit daft, isn't it? Anyway, this is the Vobes show, and this is what you get. Absolute, lunacy. If you know anybody who likes a bit of lunacy, tell them about the Vobes show. It is a bit mad. Some shows more mad than others, but can't be helped. We will see you on Monday. Should be exciting. Monday. Do come and join me from 8 o'clock. Not 8:15. I'll try not to be late this time. Thank you so much. You've been a lovely audience wherever you are, happen to be. Thanks for everybody who got their gimbal out this evening and waved it at me. Nice. I like the size of your gimbal. Nice gimbal. So until then, take care. Have a lovely weekend. Think of me with Harriet, sort of talking over...
This is mine. This is yours. This is mine. You agreed. I never said I'd do that.
Give me a laugh. Anyway, take care, everybody. Thank you very much. Do say goodnight to everybody now. That's all very good. And I will see you on Monday. Until then, keep posting stuff on the Board Explorer group. That would be absolutely fantastic. But you're all wonderful people. Love you very much indeed. Till I speak again.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, Richard. I'm going to get you up on the thing and strangle you.
Yes, all right, Emily. Thank you. I don't want to be... No.